Hi there, dear adventurers. Welcome back to Very Venture China. It's me, Dennis Richard, and today I'm going to tell you how to start up your business in China officially and legally. I can't disclose, unfortunately, the whole case and names because they are confidential, and long story short, I was approached by a friend as they operate in several CIS countries. The case is that his company, which produces different snacks and has about almost 20 million euros in revenue, is looking for new market opportunities. And I was helping him to navigate how to set up a company here in Guangzhou. When I started looking for the information, I thought I would be drowned in the amount of data, which was all too perplexing. However, I managed to solve and structure this knowledge, which I'm sharing with you today in this video. So prepare your equipment and let's go for a deep dive. Guys, today you will discover the critical role this building plays in the whole process. I broke down my quest into 6 steps and finally the opening of a bank account, which we consider the 7th. All in all, it took our 2 months to make it into one solid document. Selecting the location and corporate structure, preparing a detailed business plan and applying for approval of a unique name, preparing a set of incorporation documents, filling the application for registration with the relevant documents, paying the required registration fees. Of course, you will learn about the advantages of registering a company in China, incorporation types and investment requirements, tax incentives and other opportunities. Guys, basically, when I was attending different events through the European Union Commission and Chambers of Commerce of Sweden, Finland and others European countries, I discovered that plenty of European entrepreneurs are actually coming back and forth. So they're working in between of Europe and China. And many of them, they want to open Chinese company. Many of them already opened a Chinese company and they shared this experience with me. So this video will open up this topic as no one else did ever before. Be ready, be prepared, and it takes some courage to watch this video to the very end. So guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, you like the video. I will enclose a short manual for you with all the milestones for setting up a wholly owned foreign enterprise, WFOE, below the video and of course on my Telegram channel.
Rich guys mentioned.
Let's start with why you should choose to set up a company in China. China is a very fast developing country. Its economy is growing strongly, and the Chinese market is one of the largest consumer markets in the world. Both Asian and European countries, they cooperate with China. The Celestial Empire has modern infrastructure and access to advanced technologies. And of course, the government invests in research and development and heavily into digitalization. It's not a big surprise, right? If you watched my videos, it will not be a big surprise. This creates a prosperous environment and provide many opportunities for many different types of companies. Okay, I'm going to tell you about 4 benefits I noticed for myself. The first is the international connections. Of course, guys, it's obvious that China is recognized as an essential player in the global economy, right? And setting up a company in China can really facilitate access to international markets and opportunities for further cooperation. Secondly, the development and developed financial system and capital market allow companies to attract investment and finance their own development. Third, China has a massive amount of qualified employees, including highly skilled professionals in high value added industries. And the last one is the system of taxation. You know, the Chinese government provides favorable conditions for foreign companies, particularly in special economic zones and technology parks. Main economic sectors. First of all, I want to tell you about the most exciting sectors in the Chinese economy at the moment. Right now, the most attractive areas are becoming service-oriented, and at the same time, the following sectors are the primary recipients of investment flows. Among them are manufacturing, leasing and business services, research and technology services, IT services, wholesale and retail trade, of course, real estate, finance. China's strategic shift towards high-quality industrial development has significantly influenced the inflow of investment from abroad in advanced sectors such as pharmaceutical manufacturing and automotive manufacturing. All those companies, BYD, and it's just crazy, guys. Insanely, the Volvo is owned by Geely, by the Chinese car manufacturing. MG, that we have everywhere right now in Europe, also owned by a Chinese company. I don't need to provide more evidence. You can look my previous videos and learn by yourself. At the same time, we can see strong growth of foreign investment in manufacturing services industries, including financial services, informational services, and research and development. Alright friends, now we're going to talk about the steps that we should take to set up a company and register it in China. The first step is choosing a location and the type of incorporation, which I will cover a bit later in the same video. But before starting a business in China, you really need to decide where you want to locate your company. There are three key factors to consider when choosing a place of incorporation. Economic activity. The cities of Guangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing have high level of economic activity and they attract large businesses and investments. They have developed infrastructure and more diverse business opportunities. Regional advantages. Each city has unique advantages and specializations. So, for example, Guangzhou is often chosen by those who plan to work in exporting and manufacturing. Shanghai, on the other hand, is usually selected for financial and trading companies. So, incorporating a company in Beijing is preferred by entrepreneurs focused on innovative industries. So there are plenty of venture capital firms right in Beijing. And one of them is Bertelsmann that really recently, last year actually, they invested over 700 million euros into China. So Germans are really very smart. So they know something about the future. Bertelsmann is the family-owned company. I'm gonna cover this topic in the next episodes, especially for you, because you asked for it. As you can see, it all depends on what kind of company you want to set up. By the way, let me know in the comments below, should I make a video about China free zones, trade like Shanghai, Fujian, Guangdong, and Tianjin? The next step is developing a detailed business plan. This is a crucial step for the successful launch of any business. And you should describe the company's business model, goals, mission, target audience, and competitive advantage. Also, you should take into account financial projections and measures to mitigate and manage possible risks. Registration of a unique company name. This is the next step, is to obtain approval to register a unique company name. To register the name, you need to submit an application to the China Administration of Industry and Commerce, SAIC, and obtain written approval from the Ministry of Commerce of China, MOFCOM. As the package of documents required to register a company in China for a non-resident, the list of documents depends on the chosen corporate form. The key documents are the Memorandum of Articles of Association, identification documents, and contact details of the company's executives. All documents must be translated into Chinese and adequately legalized. Finally, we reached that building I told you about at the beginning of the video, Commerce Bureau of Shenzhen Municipality.
Hi guys, so today we're gonna visit the Bureau of Shenzhen Administration about commerce and marketing, about fair markets and companies. So exactly the building behind me is responsible for organizing businesses and different organizations in Shenzhen city, as the Shenzhen city is the biggest electronic market and they have plenty of different HQs, like including the Tencent, and they have like Alibaba, they have different other producers like DJI, the camera I'm holding right now. phones, and everything is created right here. So this organ, this building, this administration has a tremendous power in organization and supervising that business is going in order and everything is in place and everybody is following the law and pay taxes. Today we're gonna check how to establish company in Shenzhen. We will invite some people to discuss with us. I'm not sure if we'll be able to film everything, but I will deliver the information for you. Stay tuned guys and see how you can make the company here in Shenzhen. Let's go.
This is the place where we submit our documents and then receive a certificate. Of course, every region has its own dedicated bureau. So, regarding the documents, Memorandum. This is the document containing information about the goals that the company intends to achieve, its main strategic direction, and the general principles of the company's work. Charter. This is a document that defines the rights and obligations of shareholders or members, management structure, decision-making process, the order of profit distribution, and other important aspects of the company's operations. It's also necessary to show that you have the right to a leased or owned office in China and hire a local representative if needed. A non-resident submit an application for company registration in China to SIIC. After a thorough review of all submitted documents and approval of the application, you will be issued a certificate of incorporation in the name of the company, which is an official confirmation of the legitimacy of your business. Account opening. Opening an account. The next step is opening an account in China and applying for industry licenses and other permits, if required for your business, of course. There are many banks in this jurisdiction where account opening for foreign companies is available. Some well-known institutions for opening commercial account in China for business with non-resident founders are Hang Seng Bank, Industrial and Commercial Bank, and Bank of China. Also, there are international banks in China that have a vast network of branches and representative offices in the Celestial Empire and have a good reputation among entrepreneurs from all over the world. HSBC, Citibank, Standard Chartered, Bank of East Asia, and Bank of America. Transferring an account to a Chinese branch of one of these banks can facilitate banking operations and provide convenience in conducting business transactions in China. Business licensing in China. Some specialized industries require specific licensing and certification before a business can operate. Depending on the type of business, more than one license may be required, such as import and export licenses. Any trading company wishing to engage in import and export activities must obtain an import and export license. So this is a must, this is a rule. Additional licenses may be required for unique products. There are also pharmaceutical licenses, licenses for building companies, and licenses for food industry companies. Applications must be made to the relevant industry organizations to obtain a special license. Registration. Finally, we reached the stage of company registration. Now I'm going to tell you about the different forms of enterprises, and the choice of the optimal structure depends on business goals and objectives. The first is wholly foreign-owned enterprise, or WFOE. WFOE in China allows foreign entrepreneurs to have complete control over an enterprise without having to depend on local partners. But it requires a significant initial investment. The process of registering a WFOE, foreign-owned enterprise, is complex and time-consuming due to approvals from various departments. But it allows for a wide range of activities and unrestricted repatriation of profits. Joint venture, or JV. It is a form of business in which two or more companies cooperate to work together in China, but at least one of them must be a Chinese company. In my previous videos, I went to Shaoguan, where I met a Finnish-Chinese joint venture company. They produce crushing machines, like huge machines that are actually crushing buildings. And we have seen from stage zero how they create all of them. And it's not only for Chinese market, but it's also for Asian market and for other Asian countries. So one example you could see in my previous videos as well. This allows you to access local resources. So for instance, labor, raw materials, technology, and to broaden your understanding of the Chinese market. Because local companies have knowledge of local laws, consumer preferences, and the competitive environment, which can help your business adapt and compete successfully in the Chinese market. And of course, to share the risks and costs among partners. Briefly speaking, joint ventures in China can be an effective way to manage and mitigate financial risks, pool all your resources together, pool the skills and technology, and gain access to new markets and territories. So together you can achieve things easily and in shorter time. I must point out that if you choose to form a joint venture business, you should keep in mind that conflict situations may arise. So you should prepare a contract. It must include aspects such as each party's share of the business, the roles, the responsibilities, the management and decision-making process. And of course, the final stage, the exit strategy. Attention, attention, attention. Achtung, Achtung, Achtung. When registering a company in China, you are required to have a secretary. All registered, listed joint stock enterprises and companies in China are required by law to have a company secretary. Corporate secretarial services are essential for a company, as they are needed to service administrative and legal procedures following. I wouldn't lie, the language barrier is a huge thing here. You cannot do this without using a Chinese person, so you would need a proper Chinese service provider. I've spent around 1 month finding the right company, and it's worth saying that I was doing it physically, being present in China. I wouldn't recommend finding a service provider remotely unless it's recommended to you by a person you really trust. You most probably wonder about the price. It really differs between, it depends on the business you start. And it's not surprised that manufacturing whole foreign-owned enterprise would be much more costly in terms of initial capital. However, the registration itself, the steps I mentioned above, would cost you around 5,000–7,000 euros and from 13,000 euros in capital on the company's account. For my friend and his company, everything worked well, even though with a small challenge at first. I wish his company prosperity and luck. With my team, we made a step-by-step plan to register a company in the Celestial Empire that I attached in the description of this video. General recommendations. If you have an IT project, it is a good idea to find an accelerator or incubator. And these organizations will help you to walk the path faster and easier. And they will give you an opportunity to work and focus only on your product. And we did an episode about incubators in the Guangzhou region and Shenzhen, so Guangdong province. But suppose you have a large business of around $100 million or above. In that case, it is best to go to a severe organization. So for example, Zhonglong Law Firm LLP. I personally experienced how those guys work. Their attention to detail and professionalism, expertise in many different aspects, in many different industries, and was fortunate to meet one of the senior partners. With the senior partner of Zhonglong, we discussed cultural aspects of China, of the US, of Australia, of Russia, European Union countries, and it was very insightful. I would say that he helped me to look at the world from different perspectives, from the lawyer perspective. And while sitting actually together eating lunch, I realized how professional he asks questions. So the number one skill you should learn from such people is to listen. You listen more than you talk. Thus you can learn more from highly skilled professionals. Less you talk, more you learn. And ask the right questions. Asking right questions is the main skill, and that's the biggest lesson I learned. I personally admire the senior partner of the Zhonglong because he provided me with very insightful knowledge about how corporations, how the world is working. And I learned personally quite a lot for my personal lifestyle, and I got some mentoring for my future career plans and career aspirations. Hopefully in the near future we can collaborate together. That would be definitely one of my dream cooperations, to work with such people. So, friends, my dear viewers, I hope this video helped you better understand the steps of a company registration process in China and the ways and different options for doing it. And of course the reason why you should do it. And don't be afraid to work with China and benefit from this perfect teamwork, because Chinese people are known for cooperation and great at teamwork. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want more business stuff from VVC, Very Venture China. See you in the next episode, guys. Thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure for me when you watch the video, when you subscribe to the channel, when I see your likes. It brings me to the new level, to the 7 cloud, to the 7 sky, and it allows me to feel like $1 million. So guys, better thing to have than $1 million is to have 1 million friends. So let's cooperate, let's be together, let's keep in touch. And you know what? My next challenge will be to get 1 million friends around the world. I want to connect, I want to unite nations around the world with what we are doing. Guys, thank you very much. At your service, Dennis Richard at Very Venture China. Bang! Please share it with your friends as well. And on social media, let's engage in interaction.